Hi, I'm James Dunn. Welcome to the Inside Network. I'm going in depth with Alec Cutler, Director at Orbis Investment. Welcome, Alec.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Now, Alec, the theme of your current white paper is the sun is setting on Venus and a long night is coming. It sounds vaguely Game of Thrones-ish,
Yeah.
but while that's all planetary fact with respect to Venus, what are the most crucial points of the analogy you're making with respect to what's facing investors?
So from sunset to sunrise in Venus, it takes over 100 days. So you can imagine on day 99, when someone tells you that nighttime's coming, that the sun's going to set, you may not believe it because all you've ever seen is a nice, beautiful, sunny sky. That it seems very similar to us, a nice analogy to what's happened since the global financial crisis, where it's just been a wonderful environment for growth and long duration investing. Everything's been going your way, lots of tailwinds. Those tailwinds are all coming to an end. And just as on Venus, you may not believe that nighttime's coming, not many people believe that nighttime's coming for growth investing and that we're shifting into a new environment.
It's good because usually people use a party analogy, 1920s F. Scott Fitzgerald, Great Gatsby kind of analogy. So it's a really clever analogy, I think, with the length of time that it takes. Alec, as a long-term contrarian value investment firm, are these kinds of profound inflection points really the most professionally exciting times of the team's life?
If by exciting you mean frustrating and profitable, then yes, because it is a very contrarian thing to do, what we're talking about right now, but time is on our side.
You're running against consensus with your view, I think. And so does that make it, do you view it as a really exciting opportunity, or is playing defence more what you're thinking about?
No, but just purely going with what the market's giving us, and we buy what is cheap and out of favor, and we hold on to it. We have a 5 to 7 year time horizon on some of these investments, and we're happy to sit here and wait. But it's not really about defense.
It's really interesting in your current white paper how you tackle diversification, and it seems like from what you're saying there are plenty of investors who really firmly believe that they are well diversified, but they may not in fact be, and they may not have grasped that they're not, and that the world is changing.
Well, Venus day 99, you may think you're diversified by having an active growth fund and an S&P 500 index fund, but you're not. Same stocks.
Also, you appear to be saying that passive investment is incurring intolerable risk in portfolios, but that active, if not done correctly, is effectively just as bad. So are these unpopular views, to put it mildly?
Well, I think that I'm sure they're unpopular because people don't want to hear that. If you own an active fund, what's called an active fund, many of them, especially if they're growth oriented, have very high overlaps with passive. So you effectively own the same fund. When you own active and passive, you may have two funds that own the exact same thing.
So what is the essence of the strategy that Orbis is proposing?
Well, we're a contrarian long-term value investor. And right now, if you consider active share or the overlap that we have with that popular benchmarks, it's very, very low. So we're doing something completely different. We're still investing in equities around the world, but they tend to be very, very different. We have good reasons for owning each one. There is a valuation argument to each thing we own. There are catalysts that we're looking for. We're investing in great management teams, but just very, very different from what a lot of people own.
Just in terms of geographical regions, which markets are standing out to you as looking to be quite reasonably valued?
So the cheapest market out there by a long way is the UK domestic market, but there's no momentum there at all. So you really are waiting and being very patient, which is fine. But the thing you'd rather have is a very cheap market where momentum is starting to emerge. and people are starting to catch on, and that would be Japan right now. It's still very cheaply valued, but you're starting to see nice positive momentum there. The economy's strong, the currency's cheap and attractive, and you're starting to see investors start to come there to invest. And we're invested very heavily there, so we're happy to see them come.
What about sectorally? What's showing up in the portfolio as places that you end up? I know you look bottom up for valuation situations, but what's washing out in terms of sectoral exposures?
So as you say, everything is attractive from a valuation standpoint, but from a sector concentration standpoint, energy is still a decent overweight. If you're thinking about inflation and where it's coming from, you want to own what's causing the inflation. That would be energy. Defense stocks has been a portfolio concentration for quite a while now. Still looks quite attractive. The world is not becoming a safer place. In fact, it's the opposite is happening, and defense spending is coming up around the world.
This has been In Depth with Alec Cutler, Director of Orbis Investment. Thank you very much, Alec.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.